Hello, conscious co-creators, and welcome to the fire signs. If you are an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, sun, moon, and or rising, this is your reading based on your element, the element of fire, for November 2024. So how it's going to work is we're going to go through the overarching energy, so the big picture guidance and how it is that you can use your beautiful fire over the course of the month. And then I'm going to take an individual look into each of the fire signs to see how you can best interact with and utilize the other three elements. So for you guys, that would be air, water, and earth. And you'll find, of course, the timestamps for those extra readings in the description box. And if all of this is just not enough for you, then there's also a link in the description to purchase an individual reading that's connected to your zodiac placements and the energy. And that is a card pull and audio insight delivered to your inbox. So let's start by rolling these dice to see what our shuffle will be. You've got an 11, 6 and a 5 there, 6 and a 5. So as I said, we are going to be using the Good Karma Tarot for this pull, and they've had me separate the tarot into the elements or the minor arcana and then the major arcana. So we're gonna kick it off with the major arcana here. And I just want to set up the rest of your reading as well. We're going to get some guidance from a goddess for you. Of course, the element of fire for you guys is about your spirit. Which means we're going to be igniting throughout the month, asking ourselves how can we use our fire in the best way possible to bring in passion, inspiration, to light things up, to shine your beautiful light into the world. And you've got the 11, which is a lovely master number. You may want to look out for seeing 11s throughout the month. It is the 11th month, so that may have some significance. You might be seeing ones everywhere. All right. Let's see what we have first for the major arcana energy, and then we'll add your fire. So you're getting the Fool card here. Amazing. The Fool energy is the 0 card, the first card of the major arcana. So something's a beginning. You got ones everywhere. So something is definitely sparking up, okay, with you guys. For the month ahead. Maybe you've noticed that there's a new adventure that awaits you and you're excited to embark upon it. Maybe you're getting excited about what you're about to grow or dive into, which is really exciting. So to have the Fool up front, yeah, there's new beginnings that'll be all around. Let's see what the minor arcana and your fire has to give us here. Okay. And the Ace of Wands. Wow. Yep. Okay, this is undeniable for you guys. For all of you, you're gonna feel this fresh new energy, a brand new start happening for sure. We're getting the Ace, which is giving us this spark of inspiration, this new beginning, new ideas, perhaps a new passion coming in for you to observe and to pay attention to. If you notice that you're extra excited about something over the course of the month, this is definitely something that you're gonna wanna lean into. With all of this fire swirling and this fresh new beginning, doubling down on this for you guys this month. This is a huge deal. The Fool energy there's this beautiful spark of excitement. Sometimes the Fool can be like a bit naive, meaning they don't really know what's up ahead on the road, but they're really excited to get started. They're really excited to dive into it, to jump into it. And I'm wanting to get a warning from Spirit here, but nothing is really coming. This feels like fresh, sparky, passionate, inspired energy. If you feel something sparking within you, you want to go for it, is what I would say. Go for it this month. With the 11, again, we're in the 11th month. You're getting the 1 here. It's like 0-1, a fresh new start, really needing to follow that passion. If you feel like it's not exactly the time for you to like physically jump onto the path yet, I would definitely pay attention to anything that's coming up for you, things that feel really good to you, something that feels connected to that fire within you. It's all important here. If you've been wanting to start something new or have been thinking about it, this may be the month where you get to embark upon that path, to take that leap, to jump into it, to put your plans or your passions in motion. That's very, very promising and exciting. It's like doubling down on fresh, sparky energy, passionate energy. Let's see what else we have here for you. Aha, the Hierophant. This depiction of the Hierophant with like a grouping of people is interesting. This may be something that you're putting into place that's going to affect others. The Hierophant is definitely about commitment. It's about purposeful energy. So making a commitment from a purposeful place, something that you're beginning in a group. Perhaps you're teaching people could be here in a group. The Hierophant is like wisdom and commitment, a purposeful connection to what it is you kind of came here to do. So if you were like hiding your light previously or not paying attention to the things that like awaken you, bring that light, that spark, passion projects, etc., we're getting a Hierophant energy, which is a time to make a commitment or to start structuring it at the very least. Let's see what's connected with your fire element. Yeah, the Page of Wands, and he's cooking on the stove. Some things are boiling over, but that's okay. We got to try things. We have to begin things. We have to give it a shot. So now you're getting 2 energies of new beginnings, right? In any minor arcana, you're going to get the Ace at the beginning, then we close it with the 10, that first little chapter, and then we start with the Court cards here with the Page energy. So yeah, it's like the feeling of being perhaps a novice at something or not quite knowing exactly how every little thing works, but being open to trying it, just like this beautiful Page. You know, he's like, I know my passion is cooking and I'm not exactly sure how, number one, I'm gonna be able to perform or bring this recipe to life, but also how can I add my beautiful energy into it? Or how can I add like the spice of me? Yeah, that's how Spirit's saying it, is like the spice of myself, my authentic energy, my passion into the recipe. And you can see he's not afraid at all. He's got all the ingredients. He's not afraid at all to have put things into place and try them even if they're boiling over. He's like, okay, a Page is a very open and young energy. Same thing with the Fool. So in this case, you want to be very open to trying new things and perhaps getting it wrong, right? You might get it wrong or it might just be a bit off, but it looks like this energy together tells us that you're trying to find out the structure of it. So you don't want to be too conformed. You want to be connected to that passion and then to go for it and start exploring, you know, your options or how things are working together, or how you can bring, for lack of a better way to say it, because I keep bringing this up, it's like how to bring your spice to the commitment. And you may be sharing with others. So maybe there are other people that you're running this by, or like in this case, he would be making a recipe and inviting people over to try it or delivering it to someone and say, hey, give me your honest opinion about this. It's just being open to exploring your fire. So we have the fire, we have the newness, and then we have the commitment to it. It's like you saying, I'm not going to ignore this anymore. I know that this is a part of me. I know this is part of my purpose. I do want to start exploring it, and I'm going to be open to doing that. Even if I make some mistakes, that's okay. It's all part of like the learning, the wisdom, the knowledge. And for some of you, This may be, okay, this may be you remembering is how Spirit's giving it to me. So it's like remembering something that you were really good at or that you had a passion for or that you've already learned. This could be like you learned it in a past life. You have it in your ancestral line and you've never really given the time or energy to investing in it to see that you have a natural ability or a natural talent in this space or place. So there's this sense of reconnecting to yourself in like an innate, natural, purposeful energy and exploring it this month. They want you to follow your passion. And maybe this is like a side thing for some of you. This may be like a side project that when you get home, when you're done your regular gig, you come home and when you have spare time or free time, you're starting this or you're exploring it. Yeah, you're playing with it. You're having fun with it. You're letting the light guide you. And it feels exciting. It feels very exciting. Like, I'm just going to start this. I'm just going to get what I need and I'm going to just start it because it feels so connected. And then start sharing it with others, perhaps. Teaching others. That could be something that goes on in the future as well. Although we're just at the beginning here. So let's see what we have here for you. Oh, the Death card. You see this flower here. There's some kind of transformation that you're going to be going through. She comes to life, Vibrant life, they're saying. Coming to vibrant life. Wow. The Death card is a beautiful card of transformation. It's death and rebirth, right, at the same time. So leaving a part of yourself behind, perhaps the doubts that you used to have, or maybe the things that you said you couldn't do or you weren't good at, or I could never be that, I could never bring that kind of thing to life. It's those things that we always think, oh, wouldn't it be cool if I could do this? Oh, wouldn't it be awesome if I could try that? Ooh, in another life, I'll do that. But this feels like you're meant to dive into it and actually explore it. Practice it, and not to do it with this like a real serious energy. This is all very light energy, new. It's like beginner mind energy. Don't assume that you know everything or that you have the wisdom, and remember that that's okay, because when you do that and you make a commitment to the exploration of your fire, of your passion, of what's inspiring you, or you lean into this kind of new beginning, you go through this beautiful transformation where you come to life. You see the same flower is being held here, and she comes to vibrant life, as Spirit is saying. So expect a transformation to happen. Maybe you won't even like recognize yourself by the end of the month if you dive into this. You might be like, wow, I didn't know I had it in me. I didn't know I could cook so well. I can make a few mistakes, but then there's some beautiful, unique energy or taste that you're able to tap into. And it's just you. It's just your natural talent, your natural inclinations to put this spice there instead of this other spice, or to combo these things together. Very cool. Let's see the coupling card. Oh my gosh, yes. Look at that. Leader of the suit. Powerful, inspiring leader. This is interesting because I'm feeling like he's almost reprimanding me by the depiction. Right? Like he has his hand up and then there's a cross through the fire. What Spirit is saying is don't let your ego get the better of you. I feel like for a lot of you guys might find that this comes more easily to you than you would have ever imagined, or that you're better at something than you thought you were. And you just never made the time to explore it, or you had these doubts, self-deprecating stuff in your head, stopping you from exploring the passion. And then this transformation happens within a month's time. I mean, maybe some of you are already working on this, but it feels like, we're going to jump into it and then we realize, wow, I'm pretty good at this. I feel like what this is saying is the low expression. There is a warning here. Don't let it get to your head. Don't get egotistical about it. Keep your humility. Because the King of Wands, you see, you're starting at the beginning of the suit, and in a month's time, we're moving all the way to the master of the suit. I mean, it's like we begin, then we explore, and then we master it. There's something in you, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, that you have a natural talent, and it wants to be transformed into mastery, essentially. And because of the rapidness of this, like a course of a month, I feel that because a King of Wands in a high expression is this beautiful, charismatic leader, right? You can't keep your eyes off of him. And he could they're really good salesmen, right? It's like a magical, you can get hypnotized by their light, right? They're just so good at what they do. They talk really well and they make everything look beautiful. And, so whatever it is that you're working on, you're transitioning it into vibrancy. It's almost like attraction energy is going to be at your fingertips or something. And the low expression of this is being too hasty. It's being too fiery, right? Where you're in people's face, or you're getting really angry, you're really egotistical, and we don't want that. They're saying to keep your humility through the transition, because there's something beautiful that wants to be brought to life here, and it's connected to your own unique fire. And I have a feeling that Spirit wants to set you up to bring that out into the world so it can help like as many people as possible, or it can inspire as many people as possible. You can touch people's lives with that. You can attract in, because this is mastery level energy. It's leadership energy, and it may be quite quick for you, and sometimes that can go to our head. So they're just kind of giving a bit of a warning there that this is something that you're going to master or move through quite quickly. You are a beautiful, vibrant being, and you're going to go through some transition if you lean into this. This could be like a hobby, and then everyone's like, oh my God, I love this. Where'd you get this? And you're like, I made it. And they go, well, I want one, and I want 10 because I want to give them for the holidays, and that kind of energy. So just be careful not to get carried away with it so that you're ungrounded. It's going to be very important for us to look at the other elements. So make sure that once we're done here, you go and you check your specific signs, utilization, or the combination of elements that will pull for you there. Because that will help keep you in a more balanced state, because you really do have this beautiful mastery going on. It's like a spark turning into a flame, turning into a full-on fire, and just everyone is being attracted to it. That's the feeling. And we don't want that to get out of hand, right? Spirit really wants you to feel like at the end of the month, you're very confident and you can be seen without shooting yourself in the foot because you're trying to go too fast or you're taking on too much and that kind of thing. What a beautiful energy you've got. Yeah. Fire signs. Wow. Sparky new beginning. I love that it's a talent that's already within you as well, or something natural that comes to you that you're meant to be purposefully connected to. And like I said, I think it's meant to be shared with others as well. So we don't want to burn ourselves out. We don't want to use the fire and just forget about the rest of your life and then just burn yourself out, right? We want to get to this beautiful, balanced mastery place where you start to perhaps think about the future and what you can do to lead. You go through this transition and you come out into the light. Such vibrancy. Okay, let's see what else we have for you here for November. Okay, White Terra and sensitivity. You are becoming increasingly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships, environments, situations, and chemicals. Interesting. So this is lovely. This is about remembering that you're a human being with emotions, right? And that you might be a bit sensitive. She's going to help protect you here. But the guidance is for you to avoid the harshness of things. It doesn't mean that you don't, if you feel called to, ask for other people's opinions. Again, if you're cooking something, having people try, ask for their honest opinions or criticisms, constructive criticisms. But if somebody is putting you down for any reason, or if you are feeling bad after sharing with someone, let's say, or it feels like you're so excited and then somebody puts out your fire, right? Or tries to put you down. You want to call on White Terra to protect you during the month as you're exploring this, because when somebody tries to do that, it's all their energy just projecting and regurgitating onto you, and you don't need, you certainly in this group do not need your fire to be stamped out by anyone. And so they're telling you specifically, if something feels like it's harsh or it is going to make you feel really bad about yourself. There's a difference between someone's constructive criticism and their opinions that can be very helpful, that you can take into account, and maybe make some adjustments or try new things, use your intuition to do that. And someone just being like, that's stupid, why would you ever do that? There's a big difference between the two, and they're specifically asking you and telling you to call in White Tarot to help you to avoid anything that is harsh, especially if you're working with something, let's say you're painting, right? And there are really harsh chemicals that are involved. They're telling you to look out for that, right? Maybe you're making food, you want to avoid toxic stuff, of course. I mean, that goes without saying. Whatever it is that you're doing, they're telling you want to do it in a beautiful, inspiring environment, inspiring situation. Call her in so that she can protect you, so that you understand you're extra sensitive this month. Which is nice. Okay, let's see what's connected here. Yes, to keep you in the flow, which isn't surprising. The flow card is not surprising because you have such a magnified momentum kind of flow going on here over the course of the month. So they're just reminding you, you're going to be extra sensitive. We want to keep you in the flow of this beautiful fire that you're bringing to life. Make sure that you're protected. Call in White Tarot. She's lovely at protection energy to keep you in flow with your beautiful fire. And we have quieting the mind. Card number 32. This will be like a change energy where you need to get into a more connected space. This really feels like the Hierophant energy to me here, where you're not leaning on your mind so much. You're going within to lean on the fire energy. If you need to do a practice that is in alignment, you can see they're in similar positions. You may want to do that just because they want the connection to spirit to happen, your channel open to be able to channel in inspiration, right? And the transition to be able to listen to your unique voice within, or that spark within, or what is inspiring you. And to make these changes, go through this transition, try these things out. Yeah, that's lovely. If you're going to be watching the extended or the extra look, this will come through in the swords element. So we'll look at that for you to see how that's going to be, how your mind is going to be affected here this month. But they're telling you that, you need to stay connected to that fire and make sure that you're not all up in your head. If there is a practice, especially a protection practice, because in this case, if you're in harsh energy, it can mess with your mind, of course, and take you out of this beautiful fire and this momentum you've got going, this beautiful transformation you have going on, reconnection, etc. So, like I said, just put a practice in place if you feel like maybe, it feels like the Hierophant. The Hierophant is card 5 in the Major Arcana. We've got a 32-5. It's like we want ultimate divine connection to lead us, right? Not the egotistical mind. We're keeping our humility. We're keeping our connection. We're keeping our channel open. And let's see what's connected here. Fulfillment. I have to say, with what we've seen so far, it's not really surprising that you're getting this card, right? Because we're moving from 1 all the way to the mastery position, fulfillment of a wish, a hobby, a talent, etc. Everything we've already been talking about. But to have this connected to quieting the mind, it's a nice reminder that this is how you reach the feeling of fulfillment, or how you're able to bring something to a culmination, or how you're able to feel successful, is not getting all up in your head with it. If you start to think, oh my God, okay, they're saying if you start to think you're the cat's pajamas, which is just like an old saying reference, it just means you're the thing, right? If you think you're the best at this, etc., it's not going to feel as fulfilling. So we want to make sure that we're stepping into this and have that, again, humility energy, quieting the mind and trusting the spirit. Okay, let's get some more info from your tarot. Yes, celebration, dancing and celebration. So 4 of Wands energy, again, protecting yourself and going with the flow leads to this beautiful marker. This is a very grounded marker of celebration and commitment, right? So I feel like as you commit yourself to this, who knows what's going to come your way. You may have, again, people wanting to work with you in some way, people being attracted to you in some way, but there's this sense of heavy protection that is needed. It's almost like they want you to be able to focus, right, on building, growing, what feels, what's sparking within you, what's coming to life, right, and transforming within you, in order to be able to have that celebration, have that fulfillment. So you have to stay in the flow, but this is a commitment card. It's a very positive commitment. It's going after that passion. You see, they're dancing in celebration. This card comes up as the marriage card a lot. People will read it like that just because you're making this loving commitment from that passionate self within you. So it's an inspired commitment that you're making. You're getting that twice, purposeful and divine, inspired and passionate, something to celebrate for sure. We also have the Two of Wands in the World. This is interesting, especially on this side of the spread, because, you know, when we're quieting the mind, we're looking to our ego and our intuition. So the goal is to be able to stay connected to that fire. You see the beautiful channel for the fulfillment. With the Two of Wands, she literally has the world in her hands here, which is what you may feel like after this reading. I mean, this is what it feels like. You get to choose how to use your fire, right? She's choosing between the paths or the wands. I like this card because when it comes up, it always feels like you have time to ponder it, right? Like you don't have to rush. There's no rush to make the decision. The world is at your fingertips, or you've got the world in your hands. And so making the right decision for you may take some energy, or you may need to lean into it and feel into it and try to explore it and follow it that way. And that's okay. You don't need to rush. We want to stay in a balanced state, and for sure to reach the fulfillment or to choose, right, correctly, or to choose what's best for you, you can't get all up in your head. Your head can start creating narratives and things that might stop you. Again, you know, we'll look at how the element of swords is going to move with you through the month, but the feeling is you get to choose to make these commitments that are going to be really celebratory, that are going to be really amazing. And so don't feel like you have to rush into it. Trust your fire to allow you to choose. The world is at your fingertips. Exactly. You're holding it in your hands. It's okay for you to tap in for a minute, to have a moment where you're connected, where you feel protected, so that you can take that first step, invest in that, and in the flow that feels intuitive as opposed to pushy energy. Because with fire, you know, you can get, it just, things can start to get out of hand with a fire element. So you want to make sure that you're checking in regularly with yourself along the way to make the best decisions where you're feeling inspired, right, to make them. Okay, let's get a bit more insight here before we close out this part of the reading. See what else Spirit has to give you, beautiful fire signs. Feed your artist. Yes, and that is a 28-10-1. Feed your artist. Again, this feels very much in alignment, right? This is what we're tapping into. Artistry, fire, where your creativity lies, what you want to bring to life, what's sparking within you. Befriend the word polarize. Okay. This card says that somewhere in the middle is where you're going to be, right? Because again, we have this back and forth warning, stay out of your head, stay into your fire, but you're going to need to realize the extremes in order to be able to know where the middle lies, what feels good to you, especially because like I just said, we could get carried away with the fire energy, and it's not hard to do that. When things feel inspiring and they're sparking within you, you know, you want to keep going, you want to keep doing it, but that can create burnout, right? So you're trying to find just the right balance. That's what this feels like to me for you guys this month. It's like we're feeding our artist, but we're also noticing where our boundaries are when we're doing that. We're moving forward. You might get really frustrated at points when you're trying to work something out that's maybe new to you. And so if you feel those kind of energy where you're bumping up against the extremes of the fire, really like I'm completely exhausted, my fire is non-existent, or I'm completely amped up and I can't control this at this point, you want to start to notice that energy so that you can come back into a balanced state and use your beautiful creative spark to make these wonderful commitments and decisions that lead you down this line of creation and inspiration and passion, so that you get to this feeling of mastery, this transformative mastery that you're stepping into this month. It's very interesting. Not at all what I was expecting for you guys, but I love it, right? From the beginning to the master position in 1 month. There's 14 cards in a minor arcana suit, right? And we're only choosing 3. So for you to get the markers of the suit is quite important, right? It's quite significant. We start it, we make it through, we start the new chapter, we make it through, we mastered it. Aha. It's very interesting. But as they're saying, we want to feed the artist, but we want to find the middle too, right? Like you have to know your boundaries, the boundaries of your fire. Okay, final messages. The dark. Take a moment to sit under the star-speckled sky, listening to crickets and breathing in the cool night air. This is the feeling of these two here, these two cards, right? Taking a moment to connect. So we're not getting carried away. We're bringing ourselves back to the insides where all of the magic and the insight and the wisdom is. You can see there's a little owl here depicted on that card for you. This is so lit up that they're telling you specifically, spend some time in the darkness as well so that you're creating the balance that you need to be able to, as I said, move through this here. And unleash. Yeah, it's almost like there is a polarizing energy in this where there's like, go, go, go. And then the warning of like, but don't overdo it. Unleash. Hold back, hold nothing back, expand into the universe. So you see the beautiful balance that Spirit's giving you here. They're telling you blatantly, you spend time in the dark, then you unleash your light, then you come back to balance, and you stay connected, then you go for it, try this out, then reset yourself. So you most certainly may want to have like a practice in place that you can kind of go to, either a morning practice or a practice in the afternoon, something where you feel like, okay, if I'm overdoing it, or if I'm feeling really defeated, if I'm in one of these extremes, because I want to unleash, but I need to pull back so that I don't exhaust myself or I don't feel horrible, about what's gone on or like the spillage or what I tried today. Think ahead of time to what that practice may be for you so that you can feel good about what you can return to kind of come back to center, to ground yourself in, to feel like, oh yeah, here I am again, especially because we have the sensitivity and we're looking to stay in a flow to get to the fulfillment. We need to have something that we can come back to kind of ground you in this energy, this connective channeling energy. And sometimes when we're in the world, that can get out of hand. So I would suggest that you think ahead of time of what you can lean into in case that happens, because it may throughout the month if you're working on something, Most of the time it's like, like it's not a straight line to get to the mastery. And this is such a quick energy that you're definitely going to have way more wisdom at the end of the month than, again, maybe you ever thought of. This may be something you never thought you could do or never thought you could connect to, and now it's coming naturally to you. So, it's just flowing. So by the end of the month, you're going to look back and go like, wow, I never even thought that this would be happening. But losing yourself in it is the warning. You don't want to lose yourself in it, or at least have places and spaces and time. Set the timer if you need to come back to yourself. Make sure you're nourishing yourself, etc., so that you can bring this to life. You can get to this mastery, fulfillment energy. Wow. What an amazing line for you guys for the month. I'm so excited for you. At this point, we're going to look at, again, the interaction of the other 3 elements, air, water, and earth, for each of you individually. So you can head down to the description and click on the timestamp next to your specific zodiac sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, and check out how the elements are going to be connecting with your beautiful fire this month. And a reminder that if this doesn't feel like enough for you, or if you have extra questions that you want a personalized kind of reading on, so I can dig in a little bit more to your specific energy, there's a link down in the description to order that reading. It was my pleasure to read for you beautiful fire signs. I'm so excited for you again, and I'll see you in your individual readings. Hello, Aries, Sun, Moon, and or Rising. We are going to take a quick look now at how you're going to be able to best interact and what the guidance is to use the other 3 elements for you over the course of November. So you're working with your beautiful fire, but what about air, water, and earth energy? So let's get right into it. We'll roll these dice for your shuffle. You've got a 3 and a 1, so a 4 energy. Already that's supportive, stabilizing, secure. So it may be important for you to actually use the other elements, get the guidance that you need or the insight that you need about how you can combo the air, water, and earth with your bright fire, especially this month as you're working towards a mastery energy. So we'll lay these out. Okay. Let's see what we have here first. Illumination. So we're looking at air first. Illumination is a wonderful card to have when you're dealing with a suit of swords or the element of air, because it tells you that you're going to be able to have some communication that is going to illuminate your mind, illuminate your path, perhaps to bring you some new ideas, new insights, some clarity, some truth. Let's see what we have for the coupling card here for you. So again, the suit of air, we're working with the suit of swords here. And you have the 8 of Swords. Interesting. Okay. The 8 of Swords. So as you can see in the depiction of this card, she is seemingly tied up and blindfolded, stuck, right? And air energy deals with our mind a lot, our communication, truth, clarity. But here you have a manifestation card, an 8 energy. And with an 8 of Swords in particular, this is where we can be getting stuck in our head, stuck in our mind. And because you have all this beautiful fire, again, you're working towards a mastery energy over the course of November. What they're telling you is as you use the element of air, you want to use it to free your mind, to free yourself. So she seems to be stuck, but you can see that she's got this sword here, and it's so easy for her to just cut herself out of what's tied her up, remove her blindfold, and be able to see clearly. So this illumination is definitely going to be coming in your mind, right? You're going to be able to see perhaps a whole lot differently. I love an 8 of Swords because it really does allow us to tap into the truth within, to release our fears, release our worries, release the things, the lies that we might be telling ourselves in our mind. So if you're feeling like something's holding you back, the way that you're thinking or the thought processes that you've got going on, if you have some narratives that are holding you back because you're nervous or you're afraid, you can see here that with this illumination card, Spirit's going to help you with your mind to see the truth. The warning that comes with the 8 of Swords is a victimization energy. It just means that we're tying ourselves up in our mind. We're believing things that are probably not even true or not true anymore. And Spirit's going to highlight them for you over the course of the month. So as you're observing your mind and as you are being conscious of what your thought processes are, it's going to be important to ask for the truth. You can even say, please illuminate the truth for me. And it will be given, is how they're saying it. It will be given. It's important for you to not allow yourself to be stopped by any kind of fear that you've got going on in your mind, especially if it's not real, you know, if it's sort of made up or it comes from the past or it comes from like a mistake that you made. It comes from old conditioning, old thoughts, old ways of thinking. And 8 of Swords says we liberate our mind, and then whatever it is that you're thinking about, you can bring about. So again, illuminated ideas, the fear might pop up, but you're able to free yourself. You have all the power over your mind to be able to manifest whatever it is that you'd like to manifest. And this this is giving us a clear indication that spirit is on your side, helping you to illuminate what is real and what is true, as opposed to what might be, illusions or lies or fears that are stopping you from elevating. You're moving from that Ace of Fire to the King of Fire. So there is a massive elevation going on, and we don't want our minds to be holding us back. All right, let's see what we have here. We're looking at water energy now, your emotions. The Thriving card. You can see the illumination here. You can see the illumination here. Thriving with giraffe energy is definitely higher perspective vibes. So your emotions, you may be feeling really good about yourself. Perhaps you're having better feeling thoughts here as you're breaking free of any kind of illusions or fears, as I was saying, that might have been holding you back in the past. Yeah, it's an unstoppable energy for the fire signs, right? And that's you. So let's see what we have here for the cups and the water element. A Four of Cups. A Four of Cups here. Interesting card to have, especially with thriving energy. What I would say is these are very beautifully connected for you, the swords and the cups. The Four of Cups is a card that can see us wondering if, our dream is going to come to life, if our heart's desire matters, if what we have in front of us is all that there is. That's why this figure is looking off into the distance. She sort of looks like she's dreaming in dreamland a bit. And she's got these three cups in front of her that she understands that she has already. So she knows of the cups. This is the key. This little cup here is the key to the Four of Cups. This card brings in beautiful, miraculous gifts from the universe usually. And it's because we're not preoccupied with what it is we have already. So what I would say here is they're giving you a thriving card with your emotions. And I don't know that you can see it just yet. Over the course of November, you may find that there are some beautiful little miracles that are popping in, or some gifts from spirit that are coming in and that make you feel so happy, that make your emotional body feel like it is thriving or it is illuminated. And this is very connected, right? Your emotions and your mind are very connected. What you think about, you feel into it. So you want to watch out for getting lost in a bored or dreamlike state over November. There's a lot of motivated kind of momentum, fiery energy for you to work with. And so you don't want to be lost in going like, well, I guess this is all there is, and I don't think that anything good is going to happen for me, or I don't know if anything's going to come my way that I'm really going to love. Because when we put blinders on with a Four of Cups, we miss what Spirit's trying to provide for us, to show you that you are thriving, that your cup is filled, that there is more to come. So keep your perspective, right? Higher perspective with the giraffe, very open. You want to have this open, illuminated perception of the world around you. This is not all there is. And there's something else that wants to be given to you that you're absolutely going to love. So we want to watch out for miracles for sure. We want to watch out for gifts, signs, messages from the universe. Want to take that higher perspective, because that's how you're going to thrive this month, especially as it concerns your emotions. So that's how you're going to have feel good emotions. When you notice, oh, right, there is something more. There is something, let's say, bigger, better. I'm working towards something that's going to make me feel amazingly successful, to make me feel like I'm thriving. And it requires a larger perspective. If you get lost with blinders on, just about what's in front of you and what you have now, assuming that there's not going to be any more, there's not going to be anything different, or nothing else is coming in and nothing's ever going to change, you may start to feel like a low energy, like apathetic or bored. And that certainly is not the vibe for you working with your main element. That fire energy wants you to move and explore and to begin. And so here, perspective open, watch for the miracles, acknowledge them as they come. If Spirit gives you a gift, if Spirit sends you a message, if you can overcome something in your mind and you feel really good about it, make sure you're acknowledging that for yourself, because that's what's going to help you thrive, especially emotionally, right? You're going to feel so much better. Let's see what we have here for the earth element. Oh, delight. Okay. Yeah. It's like you're gonna love what you're accomplishing. That's the feeling of this card, even without the tarot here. Delighting in the physical. Maybe you're delighting in the work of it all, or you're delighting in what's coming to life. Maybe you're delighting in what's being brought into your space, what gifts you're receiving, or the signs that you're getting. And you really start to feel like, wow, I am illuminated. I am thriving. This is delightful here on the physical plane, because Earth energy and the suit of Pentacles deals with, of course, all of our physical aspects. So your body, your home, your career, your work. Ooh, I almost grabbed that card, but this is the one they want. Ah, yes, the 5 of coins. Okay. This may be a bit of a struggle here to find this. We can see that we are seeing struggle kind of going on in all of these suits for you here. Because you have such beautiful fiery energy, that's moving from 1 to king, 1 to mastery over the course of the month, it's kind of inevitable that you're going to probably hit some moments where you might have like imposter syndrome, or you might be overthinking, or you might be nervous about something, or you might not trust yourself for a moment. You might not trust in your abilities or that beautiful spark within you, what you're feeling passionate about. So a 5 of coins, you can see she's on the stoop, and she's kind of like feeling like she's left in the cold, that she's been abandoned. But all of the pentacles are there right where the door is, right? This is an open door for you. So in order to get in this delight energy, this is a self-empowerment card that says you have the ability to make the changes here on the physical plane. You can move things around if you need to. You can try things, get back at it. You've got this. Don't let yourself believe that you're lost in the cold and like you can't turn around and open this beautiful door. This card can see you sometimes in scarcity energy for sure. So when we put all of these together, the warning is you're lost up in your head, you're victimizing yourself, you're thinking that nothing good is ever going to come, that you have to deal with just what you have, and that's that. And even if it's boring or things aren't moving the way you thought it was going to move, it sucks, and this is just what it is. I don't know that anything good is going to come of this, and there's nothing I can do. I don't have what I need. That's the lower expression of these 3 cards. So again, you may have a bit of challenge as you move through November because you're looking to elevate at quite an accelerated pace with all of that beautiful fire. And so they're warning you here. What really wants to happen is the high expression for you, Aries. Illumination, thriving, and delight on the physical plane. So this is like hitting these markers and being able to move forward, picking yourself up after you've fallen, not allowing yourself to victimize yourself and say, well, I didn't get it right the first time, so I guess I can't get it right at all. And I don't have what I need, and I don't have the skills, or I don't have the tools, or I'm abandoned, no one's gonna help me. You know, this kind of victimization mindset is absolutely the opposite of what Spirit is guiding you to lean into for the month. Really, what we're looking for is freedom and liberation of mind, not paying attention to those thoughts in our head that want to hold us back, or those fears that might be popping up, keeping your perspective wide open to be able to feel good and notice what you have to work with, what's being provided for you. So even if you make a mistake and it seems mostly bad, there's something in there that is a gift for you that you can notice and work with. And then you realizing you have all the power. You can make the changes. You can get up again, even if you felt really bad, you had a bad day, you can get up again and work something differently. Shift this element, shift that element, and feel the delight of working through something and coming out on the other side thriving, illuminated and thriving. So there's a beautiful opportunity for you. And oftentimes, right, Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Aries, when we want to elevate that quickly, you're working with a very sparky, passionate energy, and it's an accelerated motion through the month. There will be challenges. There will be challenges that you need to face and that you need to overcome. This is, the human plane. So you may feel like let down, or maybe you go to try something, or you go to ask someone for help and they're not there for you. This isn't meant to bring you down. It's meant to empower you. It's meant to enlighten you. It's meant to help you thrive, help you feel this kind of delight by the end of the month. So watch out for these traps here, because these cards in a high expression create this, head up, shoulders back, movement forward from a clear, truthful, emotionally fulfilled, and then physically empowered direction. And that's what they're going to be going for. But I can't say with this lineup that you may not meet some challenges or obstacles, but you're meant to overcome them. And that is the goal. You have what it takes to shift things in a way that is going to serve you greatly. Spirit is on your side, bringing in what you need to bring in, as long as you can not get lost in the minute, but keep that higher perspective and notice where your mind might be slowing you down or telling you lies that just are not true, Look out for it. You really have all of the power in your hand, or I want to say like in your wand, right? The suit of wands and fire. You have all the power that you need in your wand this month. Okay, let's get a couple of final messages for you now. Protect your energy with the black tourmaline. Absolutely, it's good advice. Anytime you have obstacles or you're being shown, this is like a heads up from Spirit, excuse me, to make sure that you're protected. You're going to be met with things. You don't want to get lost in crazy thoughts or feel like nothing ever is going to happen for you, or like you don't have what you need. They're saying that the protection is needed, right? And I also feel like you're definitely supported already by Spirit. So you may want to put a protection practice in place as you're moving forward over the course of the month. And the angel aura quartz and lighten up. That's great. This just says to not take anything personally, essentially. That's sometimes easier said than done, of course, especially with this kind of a lineup. It's easier said than done. You might feel like, oh my God, why am I hitting this, challenge again? But if you can take it, it's almost like they're saying with a grain of thought, with a grain of salt. I almost said with a grain of thought, with a grain of salt, and keep the energy a bit light. So it's like light and protected at the same time. That's going to help you to move more smoothly through any kind of obstacles that your mind might present you, or that, the physical path may present you, because you're working towards mastery. And again, it's not strange that you might come upon some frustrating moments or have like a bad day or a bad night or a bad afternoon or a bad morning, but the goal is to keep it light, to lighten up, to keep your energy clear, vibrant, and light, so that no matter what it is that you're facing, you feel protected and like you can pick yourself up and like try again, right? It's that energy of keep going, try again. You've got this. Sometimes we just need to work through things in order to be able to come out on the other side feeling this energy, illuminated, thriving, and in delight, or delighting in what we've been able to accomplish. Love this for you, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I hope that this serves you for November, and I hope you have an amazing month feeling clear, light, and protected. Hello, Leo, Sun, Moon, and or Rising. We are going to take a look into how it is you can best interact or work with the other 3 elements this month. So for you, that is air, water, and earth. It's always good to know how it is we can interact, especially if you have placements in the signs of these other elements. So let's give this a roll. Wow, look at that. Double 6s for you, Leo. Double balancing, harmonizing energy. This is lovely, and it's a 12. Ooh, the vibe of those together feels amazing. It feels like shining. It's like doubling down, 6 of Wands almost energy coming from that. A 6 of Wands is a very bright and shiny victory card where you're kind of getting the recognition that you deserve, or you're able to get in the spotlight to put yourself out there. And because you have this beautiful accelerated movement with your fire energy over the course of the month, double 6s, that feels like you're meant to shine and double down on that shine. Let's see what we have here for you. Okay, we'll put these cards out here first, and we're going to begin with the element of air to see how you can work with that beautiful fire and this sparky energy. In fact, it feels like this sits nicely in your natural energy, Leo. It feels like, you know, you're meant to be in the spotlight or shine. And so for them to bring those double sixes out, I just feel like it's multiplication of that energy is what they're giving us there. Okay, let's see what we have here, and then we'll start with air. Action, taking action. Love this. Wow. Acting with your light is how they're giving it. Okay, let's shuffle up the swords and see what card we have to couple that action energy. So swords deal with clarity, your mind. Again, they're the element of air. Clarity, communication, truth. Ooh, a 3 of swords here. Okay, this is a difficult card for sure. This is about having thoughts in your mind that are connected to past experiences that may have been hurtful or harmful or difficult, losses that you've experienced in the past. To have a 3 of swords here with an action card, I feel like you're going to be moving on from this energy. What you want to look out for is getting trapped in the past in your head. So the stories that you're telling yourself about perhaps past experiences or past mistakes, especially the ones where you felt like you failed or there was some loss that happened, some kind of a trauma that happened, or something that was very difficult. If you're still thinking about that as you're taking action, Spirit wants you to kind of take heart, is how they're saying it, with her hand over her heart. Yes, okay, that's nice. Take heart. Meaning it's not actually happening right now. It's not happening again. That's the most difficult part about the 3 of swords. It's a pretty emotional card, even though we're in the suit of air, even though we're in the suit of swords. It's to do with your mind, but it definitely affects your emotions. It's like taking the past and bringing it into your present and then feeling like it's still happening. Sometimes I call this the PTSD card because, you know, it's not in front of you right now, but you're reliving it in some way. This could most certainly delay your action or stop you from taking action altogether. It's very important that you look out for ooh, that was loud card. Look out for the low expression of this card as you move through the month, right? Paying attention to what you might be bringing from your past into your present moment to cause you pain or to make it more difficult for you, or what you might be holding on to that needs to be left in the past. If you find that it's circulating in your mind, Spirit is telling you directly, you have to take action. You may need to take a different action in order to feel like you can leave something in the past. The high expression of this card, which is really nice, is being able to creatively think about your past experience. So that difficult, painful experience, that, again, mistake you made, or that loss that you had, or that failure. Looking at it differently from a totally different perspective now, because it's not going to repeat. But if you're sticking in that low expression of this and allowing it to like infiltrate your whole mind all the time, it's going to be hard to get that accelerated motion that you have going on in your fire energy and shine as brightly as possible. Remember, we're like multiplying the fire, shine. You're very attractive. And so this could really hold you back. Because it's attached to the action card, that's lovely. That's telling us not only do you need to perhaps think differently about it, but you need to act differently. So we're shifting our thoughts to get into a more creative way to discuss, they're saying, to discuss your past. It may be discussing your past in your own head, like with yourself, or maybe you're discussing your past that you're nervous about with other people, communicating with other people. If that's the case, you really want to pay attention to how you're communicating about your past experience. Are you talking about how difficult it was and what a hardship you went through and how painful it was and how sad you were? Are you continuing to reiterate the same narrative that brings up the pain? Or are you creatively spinning that so that you're able to have learned from something that you know it's not going to repeat again, that you're going to take different steps or different actions so that that doesn't repeat again in any way, shape, or form? That's the key. I feel like there's some, they're showing the word discussion. They haven't put it down yet. So it's like, the way that you discuss the past with yourself or with others is going to be very important, especially where they're talking about the difficult parts of your past. Not only do, of course, you want to focus on the positive, but if as you're moving through the month, you've got, remember, moving from the ace to the king. So it's an accelerated mastery of something or an accelerated elevation that's happening through November for you that you have access to, that you have the opportunity to tap into. This could hold you back. And so because it is connected to action, you need to know that those things from the past, they're not just necessarily going to go away. You need to start creatively thinking better about them, perhaps, or differently about them, or positively about them, discussing that with yourself and with others. So watching for where you're getting lost in that past narrative that's bringing you down or is not showing you in your best and most your brightest light is how they're saying it. And then the action needs to be taken anyway. You can't let yourself be dragged down by this. They want you to act from a different space. And it may very well be that the thoughts change because of the action. Like it's easier for you to think more positively or more creatively about what's lingering in your head because you take an action. And this provides you with a better feeling, and then a better feeling thought will come from that. So perhaps reverse engineering a bit here if you feel like you're being bogged down or you're really nervous that something's going to happen again. Take action from an inspired place because you have such a beautiful, bright light going on within you that wants to shine, that wants to grow. And that may allow you then to have a different opinion in your head, to discuss it differently in your head and with others as you're moving forward. All right, let's see what we have with the water element to see how your emotions come into play here. Enlightenment energy. Yes, oh my gosh. So again, the light, you have this bright light happening. In your emotions, it sounds like that they're going to provide you with this sense of lightness for sure. Or it feels like a clearing to me, if I'm honest. It feels like we're clearing some stuff out that might have been stuck or stagnant or like kind of dragging us down. And now we get to be, lighter of spirit. I think you're just going to feel really good about yourself. Like it's the energy of feeling proud of yourself, right? Because you've carried on despite the fears or despite what happened in the past. You're not letting the past hold you back. You're taking action, and this provides this sense of enlightenment. But let's see what the coupling card is here. So we're working with water in the Suit of Cups. All right. Yes. Master of the suit here. Master of the suit. Emotional enlightenment and harmony and balance. It puts you into this beautiful position where you're the master of your emotions now, right? This kind of stuff is not going to be holding you back anymore unless you allow it to. If you decide that you're not going to do anything, you're not going to follow your passion, you can't shine brightly because you're not meant to shine brightly, and you get stuck. Remember, I made that mistake before, I'm not good enough, or I lost that, or I failed at that. If you get caught up in that energy, it's going to feel like you're being dragged down as opposed to completely enlightened and elevated, okay? If you can allow yourself to take the action anyway, it's almost like doing it anyway despite the fear and getting this better narrative in your head about it, your emotions are going to come into complete, beautiful balance. The King of Cups is the master of the Suit of Cups. He's this beautiful emotional leader that's very stable. So he leads with his heart, but he does so in a way that isn't in extremes. He knows everything's going to be okay. He knows how to ride that wave of emotion when he needs to. It's not that he doesn't feel his emotions. He just understands that he wants to bring them back into balance before he kind of goes out into the world, or before he makes any decisions. And because you have this enlightenment card connected to the master of the suit, there is an elevation here in your emotions that is going to happen in your emotional body. You're probably going to feel like, you know what? I can handle this. So even though this is being presented, you may want to tell yourself things like that. This is a different time. I'm a different person. I'm not who I used to be. This situation is not what it was. I have complete power over my own emotions. I know that I can process my feelings. I know how to use my emotions. I know I can keep them in balance. I can have compassion for myself in this situation, but not be completely like, it's like taken aback by it or taken out by it. It feels like you're riding this wave with wisdom almost. Like you know how to navigate, yes, the waters differently from an enlightened perspective or from a much higher perspective. I think you're going to have mastery here too over the course of the month if you allow for yourself. You're like, I got this. That's what it feels like. No, I can handle it. Even if something difficult does come up, like I said, the King of Cups, it's not that he doesn't feel, it's that when he is expressing himself in some way where so his emotional body is coming to the forefront, or there's something that he's processing, even if it's difficult, maybe it's super happy, could be an extreme emotion, either way, he knows enough to allow himself the time to feel that, to process it, to ask about it, to get to the place of enlightenment or to understand, clear his emotional body, come back into a state of balance in order to be able to move forward from there. So if you do have things popping up, emotional energy, maybe again, you hit a really awesome marker and somebody recognizes it, or you're shining, or you feel really proud of yourself. It's important for you to feel that kind of emotion as well. It's like, feel happy, feel joyful, feel fulfilled. Allow yourself to feel that. And then if you have a bad day or something pops up and you make a mistake or something doesn't go as planned, then allow yourself to feel that energy, feel that disappointment. But know that it's going to pass and that you're going to be able to bring yourself back up and create this harmony energy that you will move forward from. It almost feels like you're processing your emotions totally differently now. You're able to honor them, acknowledge them, and then allow them to come up and to be released, and then you get back to it. It's an enlightened perspective of how it is that you can feel and how to process. So it's like, I know I am supposed to feel, I'm a human being. I'm going to allow that for myself. I'm actually going to honor that. And then it will pass. It's a knowing. It's coming from a much higher perspective. And you'll move back into, the action energy. Like one day doesn't define your whole experience. One experience doesn't define your future. And this is what you're learning or stepping into here with these other elements. Because again, accelerated fire, really bright and shiny energy for you Leos. It requires you to be able to handle, navigate with the past failures and with the fears, knowing that your emotions are not going to be forever disturbed by it, that you have the ability to be a master of your own emotions. It doesn't mean you don't feel, it means you feel and you have compassion for yourself, and then you get back at it, right? Love that. Yeah. Even with the waves in the background, he's smiling and he has this beautiful cup that feels stable and steady. Okay, now we're going to look into the element of earth and see how that works in for you this month. Oh, inner peace on the physical plane. Love this. This is always such a flow, abundant flow energy, this card. It always feels like, we're swimming along and it's exactly as it should be. I can trust the flow of the way things are going. Yeah. And especially because you have the King of Cups here, I believe you will be able to navigate beautifully in the flow here on the physical plane. So earth energy, the suit of pentacles, deals with everything that is very physical in our lives. So if you're literally putting work in on the physical plane, you're working with tools, resources, etc., there's a peaceful vibe that is coming. And it's because you're taking action, I think, despite any kind of narratives or past experience that's holding you back. You're becoming enlightened. You're navigating beautifully with mastery over your emotions. So of course we're going to get peace on the physical plane or with your physical journey and physical experience throughout the month. Let's see what we have to couple this through the Pentacles suit. The Seven of Coins. It's like a peaceful, patient working. That's what this is, working on it peacefully and patiently. You can see she's looking at what's blooming, blossoming. She's sort of, what she's doing is checking on it to see, has it come to fruition yet? Is it ready to be harvested? The Seven of Pentacles, or the Seven of Coins here, is a card that says you have the experience you need and you just need to show up for it. It's like, just show up, right? Keep doing the thing that you're doing. Keep watering the plant every day, because it's going to produce fulfillment, or it's going to bloom or blossom. It's going to produce the bounty. You know how to create the bounty. And because of your Wands energy that we saw there in your main pull, it feels like there is a bit of like exploration and flow that is required as you're doing this, but we're never forgetting with a Seven of Pentacles that as you show up day to day, as you show up for the work that needs to be done, and you remember your experience and your wisdom and your know-how and what you're focusing on is what they're saying, like what your goals are, you can allow yourself to have this like patient, peaceful energy that they're giving here on the physical plane or on the journey. So throughout the month, whatever it is you're showing up for, you may want to kind of have like a grounding practice or a peaceful practice or a connection practice in place, right? Because this is just like, I show up, I water the plant, I check the plant, and then tomorrow, I know I water the plant, I check the plant, right? That's what this is about. It's about the small steps that it takes. You come back at it with a beautifully elevated, enlightened, emotional self. So mastery over your emotions, leaving the past behind, using the wisdom that you've gained to be able to show up again. If there is a problem or if something comes up, you have what you need to peacefully and patiently address it, take care of it, resolve it, to take action on it. Remember, you have wisdom now. So you're not starting from ground zero. They're telling you here, as you move forward, pull from that wisdom that you've already gained, and this will blossom and bloom into something beautiful. There's no need to upset your inner energy, to upset yourself. In fact, if you're feeling upset, it's probably connected to a past experience. You're meant to double down and magnify your light here, and to do so in it's like a grounded, rhythmic way on the physical plane. Yeah, this is lovely. It may also provide you some peace of mind or peace in your body, like you may be more relaxed physically as a result of showing up and just doing the work of the day, is how they're saying it. It's like we're not necessarily thinking about the entire month all at once. Even though we're pulling for the entire month all at once, we may be, because you're moving from ace to king in the fire suit, you may be needing to just focus your attention, be present in what it is that you're doing for the day, so that you can show up with all of your wisdom and experience, and you can feel very grounded in what you're doing, what's right in front of you, essentially. So yeah, allow yourself to be patient as you're doing the work that needs to be done. And yeah, you can tap into the bigger picture sometimes if you want, or the bigger goal, or what you're working towards. But this really feels like we need to just show up and do what needs to be done, is how Spirit is saying it. We're not thinking about all the things we need to do later on today. We're just thinking about what needs to be done. We're showing up in the best and highest expression, most balanced, enlightened way to take that action, leave the past behind, focus on the present, and this will come to fruition for sure in the future. Love it. Okay, let's get some extra messages, added messages for you now before we go. Very bright, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, bright energy for you. Yes, okay. We have selenite and clear the clutter. This is a very high vibrating connection stone. It's a channeling energy. If you have a selenite, you may want to use it like in your daily practice as you move forward. Clear the clutter. I think it's the clutter in your mind. It feels like there's something that you may still be attached to, right, from a past experience, and we've talked about that. So there may need to be some sort of a clearing practice that you do every day, and then connect back to your purposeful energy, back to that fire of yours, back to that beautiful light within, so that you can move forward clear, balanced, right? Grounded, present, without all of the past ruminating in your mind, especially, so it doesn't block your action. So if there's anything that you feel like you need to clear out, it could be a physical clearing. You may maybe you need to weed the plant or trim it, etc. If there's anything that feels like it's cluttering up the space, whether it's your mind or your emotional body or the physical space, this card asks you to clear that out, because I think you need to be focused. It feels like there's a focused energy for you. And so they're telling you very directly, it's time to clear things out so we can be clear, so we can be focused, so we can be protected, so we can show up in the present moment and know what it is we're doing without distraction. And the fluorite, find peace within. So doubling down on the peace message for you, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising this month. Inner peace, find peace within. And we know that the peaceful energy that they're talking about is connected to the physical energy. So you may want to do a physical practice, a physical workout, something to that effect, a grounding practice that allows you to come back to your body every day, or come back to the present state of being, right? Whatever it is you're working on. You may want to put a presence practice in place that allows you to feel more peaceful. You may want to use a fluorite stone, because look at the coloring here. So yeah, if you have a fluorite, it may help you. Fluorites are great for promoting, yes, peace, but they're also a great focus stone. So it feels like peaceful focus. They're asking you to clear things out so that you can work from a place of peace and harmony, not being cluttered in your mind about the past, right? So we're leaving the past behind. You're focusing on your light. You're understanding that you're working from a different state here. You're a different person, right? It's not going to be what it was. You're at a different state of enlightenment here. You've leveled up, and you can trust that. If you show up for the work and do it from experience, trust yourself, you'll stay in this beautiful, peaceful state and be able to accomplish what you're looking to accomplish. So I hope that this serves you for November, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and I hope you have a beautiful month ahead. Hello, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and or Rising. We are going to take an extra look at how the other three elements are going to be working with your beautiful fiery energy for November 2024. So these other three elements for you are air, water, and earth. So let's get right into it. We'll roll up to see what your shuffle is and your number indicator. Okay, you've got a 4, a 1, and a 3. 4 energy is, balanced, supportive, stable, secure type energy. And because of the way that it's showing up with the 1, that indicates, a sense of self, perhaps, a new beginning. You did have that beautiful Ace of Wands showing up in your main spread. And we're moving in an accelerated movement all the way to the Master of the Suit for you guys. So we'll see how it is that the other elements are coming into play, what we want to look out for here as you continue to stay stable and secure. All right, we'll set these, and we're going to start with the element of air for you. So air has to do with clarity and truth. It's the element or the suit of swords. And so communication will come into play, your mental state. Let's see what we have first here. Freedom, perhaps freedom of mind. Lovely. Perhaps freedom of mind, communicating freely. And it's a 4. Ooh, 7 of Swords energy. Excuse me. The 7 of Swords, interesting. This is a card. Yes, okay. They're saying you're breaking free. The 7 of Swords can be a tricky card. It can see you kind of bumping up against people who are trying to kind of pull one over on you, to hide something from you, to manipulate your mind in some way, or to manipulate you. But with a freedom card, I think you're going to be able to catch it. So this may be a bit of a warning, first and foremost, for you, my Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. it may be that you need to look out for people who are trying to like keep something away from you, especially knowledge or information. So you want to be noticing is what I would say. Be conscious of someone who's like taking an idea or taking some sort of, it's knowledge or information and kind of keeping it to themselves or holding it for themselves. Just notice how that's happening, because we want it to be, how they're saying it is a free-for-all. So maybe you're collaborating with someone over the course of the month, and you want to have this kind of like authentic, freedom of thought going on, and someone may be kind of like hiding things or not telling you the whole story, something to that effect. It doesn't feel necessarily super malicious to me. It just feels like, people want a stake in things. So if you're exchanging ideas with somebody and you feel like they're not telling you the whole story, of course you can ask them, tell them this is a free space that we can share ideas together, and we don't have to worry about kind of lies, keeping things from each other. The high expression of this beautiful card is you being able to be truthful with yourself, to be honest with yourself, to be your authentic self, to share your ideas with freedom. It's like free to be you. That's what this high expression is. So whatever it is that you're working on bringing to fruition, or whatever goal you have, what you're trying to master, whatever you're working on this month, you want to make sure that you're coming from a very authentic place, that you're not the one who's keeping something to yourself or secrets because you're nervous about what other people might think or that people won't accept you. This feels like I'm free to be me. That's the high expression of this coupling for you. And it's going to be important for you to know that in your mind. Sometimes we can make ourselves small with a Seven of Swords and say like, no, I can't do that. You can have narratives where you're lying to yourself. So if you're not working with someone else, or you don't feel like anybody's keeping anything from you or trying to change your mind about something or manipulate your mind, it may be you, right? You may be telling yourself things that are just not true, or keeping it, how they're saying it is keeping yourself small. So that means you're making yourself feel like less than or not worthy enough. Like, my idea isn't that good, or the way I want to structure this isn't going to work, or it's not the best way, or I never come up with the best ideas. That kind of a narrative. If that's going on this month, they're telling you absolutely not. Set your mind free. Allow yourself to be you. Your ideas matter. The way you're thinking about something matters. And even though it might be a bit different than how someone else might do it, that's okay. This card wants you to be authentic. It wants you to allow yourself to be it's free of mind or free of thought. The way that you're thinking about yourself may be on the chopping block here, but because you have the Freedom card, it's time to set that free. It's like, set yourself free. That's the feeling. It's a new start for you. Set yourself free. Allow yourself to be creative. Allow yourself to think outside the box. Let's see what we have here. So we're dealing with the emotional energy now, and the suit of cups, the element of water. Ooh, protection. We have these ideas coming in and the sense of, is spirit protecting them? But I feel like in general, you'll have protection with your emotions. So maybe, okay. Interesting. They're talking about you wanting to meet the goal. So you must be wanting to elevate, doing it, again, we said, in a free and authentic way, being yourself, sharing the things that you need to share, not being afraid to be you, not making yourself small. But it seems to me, they're saying that you're not going to be taking things as personally. So if somebody, let's say, has a criticism about you, or they bring something up, or, there's an offhanded comment, or like if you're on social media, there's like comments underneath that are not so kind, or they're not nice, or they're not favorable, or whatever it is. Spirit seems to be wanting you to know that you will have a layer of beautiful protection around your emotional body to help you like deflect. That's what it feels like. I'm deflecting. Something's bouncing off of me. It's like brushing your shoulder off, not allowing the things that people say, the comments that people make, the opinions of others to slow you down or stop you, to make you feel less than, or make you then make yourself small, right? Let's see what we have connected here. Ah, exactly. Three of Cups. It's celebrating you. Celebrating yourself, celebrating with others. This is a joyful card. This is where we see people coming together to be able to feel happy, right? This is often a celebratory card. So you may be hitting some beautiful markers in that accelerated elevation that you've got going on with all of your fire moving from the Ace to the King over the course of the month. And it's going to be something to celebrate because you have, it's like, oh, this feels so joyful. Yeah. Because no one can harm you. That's what it feels like. Or at least no one can harm your emotional body. The direct message from it feels like we're deflecting those emotions because we don't have time for them. We're not going to let somebody get to us. We're not going to let somebody uproot us. You know, again, protected, strong, kind of balanced, secure, so that when you have celebratory points, you're celebrating them. You're not going to let somebody bring you down. Like if you hit a marker and you feel really successful, you do something that comes together right, or you make, you know, you're able to check something off, or it feels really good, or you've shared something and it works, you know, as you're exploring through the month. This says, I'm going to feel happy even if someone goes, yeah, but you only got the first part done. What about the rest of the project? Or, yeah, but that's not going to work for this. It's like you're still going to take the win, which I love. It's like Spirit's like, celebrate. It's a marker. We'll get back at it tomorrow, but tonight, pop the champagne. Let's imbibe. Let's get together. Let's smile. Let's have some joy in our lives as we're moving through this as well. And so, yeah, it feels like your emotional body has this beautiful protection bubble around it where it's going to deflect anything that's going to bring you down. It's not to say that you shouldn't take, you know, like criticism that is constructive or listen to other people's opinions, but there's a difference between, you know, fielding someone's projected judgment or opinion on you that is negative and then letting it kind of like permeate into your energy and carrying it around and then starting to believe it and lying to yourself about who you are and how amazing you are. That's not what we're doing here. Spirit's lovely here, protecting you, protecting your emotional body, and allowing you to hit these beautiful, they may be even small markers, beautiful little markers of celebration, and patting yourself on the back so you can get up the next day and feel good about the progress you're making. Love that. Let's see what we have here for the earth element now. Embracing the journey, embracing the path, embracing the physical path. Yeah, and the work perhaps. Love this. And I love the depiction of this card. It feels like enchanting. So you're on an enchanting journey here of elevation, being yourself with the freedom to be you, and joining forces with people who get you. People who are like, wow, great job. That's amazing. Not, what about all the rest of it? Yeah, they're saying like the Debbie Downer. You want to make sure that you're staying away from that, not choosing to be engaging with the people who are trying to just bring you down or pointing out the negative all the time. Here we're embracing the physical journey. We're embracing the path. Let's see what we have connected. The Seven of Coins. Okay. Another fire sign got this here. The Seven of Coins is about realizing that you have the experience to bring something and grow something to fruition. This is about a card that has patience in the journey, where it's like the proverb, chop wood, carry water. That's what the Seven of Pentacles always reminds me of. That's the energy, and they're having me give that to you now. It's embracing the day-to-day, right? That's what they're asking you to do. There's work to be done day to day. Your focus is needed in order to grow this beautiful pentacles or plant of coins and to bring it to fruition where she'll be able to take the coins and use them. She's had to show up on a regular basis. She's had to tend to this plant. She's needed to show up and water it every day to give it some love and attention. And that is the idea here. They're telling you, show up like, they're saying every day is a new day, right? So you're showing up and you're going, I'm ready. I'm embracing the day. I'm embracing the work. I'm embracing with presence what I need to do, where I can lend my wisdom or my experience or my know-how. and I'm working on it. I'm willing to work on it. This is a card that asks you to have patience with yourself and the work that needs to be done. So you're showing up in a very stable, beautiful way where you have this freedom and hopefully peace of mind. I feel there's a peace of mind that wants to come here where you're being who you are. You're like, this might be a little unconventional. Maybe this isn't how everyone else does it, but I feel free to be me. So that's what I'm going to lean into. And every day I'm going to show up as my authentic self and I'm going to get at it. I'm going to embrace the opportunity of the day. You could even, they're saying it may be helpful to even split the day up into kind of like segments or chunks. I don't know. I don't know why they're saying that for you, Sag, but maybe it's because you're really good at setting a goal or hitting a goal. And instead of thinking about the huge, bigger picture of it all, they're asking for you to look at not the micromanaging, but be present in, the day. So if you need to break the day up into smaller chunks to feel like I handled that, I was present for this, and now we're moving on to this part of the day, that is absolutely a positive thing to do. That's what they're saying. It's in alignment for you to do that because it helps you to embrace each moment as you're lending your wisdom, as you're lending your time, your energy, your focus, your patience to this growth process over the course of the month. Showing up and doing the thing, embracing the opportunity to show up and do the thing. Yeah, love that. And then I just love that they're giving you the celebratory markers so that you can like have this light, joyful feeling as well. We're not taking in. Like those lightning bolts might be, somebody trying to cut you down, but no, we're fully protected. And with that beautiful tree there, you just keep on growing. That's what you're doing. Keep on growing, keep on going. Yeah, okay. Let's get some extra messages for you now to close this part of the reading out. Lumerian quartz. Practice patience. Yes, that's what we were just saying. We're showing up for this moment. We're being patient with ourselves. Love this. Very high elevated stone as well, crystal as well. It's a high level clearing stone that taps you into higher knowledge. And that's wonderful, especially if you're leaning into your authentic and natural knowledge, your innate creativity, what is specific and unique to you, and bringing that out into the world. And again, not making yourself small. The Lumerian quartz will help to highlight and enlighten that even more as you're moving forward. And with the practice patience, it helps you to be grounded. Again, what we were just talking about here, in every moment and embracing every moment. Okay, and the moonstone, and live your purpose. I love a moonstone. If you have a moonstone available to use, absolutely carry that around with you or tap into it and use the vibe of it. It's a wonderful enlightening stone for sure. It connects to the reception of divine communication, right? It's feminine energy connected to the moon. This says live your purpose, and most certainly you're going to be working with purposeful energy. There's, again, an accelerated spark that's growing over the course of the month. And so we don't want to make ourselves small. This is free to, yes, live your purpose, be connected, show up for the work that needs to be done here on the physical plane, and celebrate when you feel things are being brought to fruition in some way, or where you have a positive goal being met, right? Or where you just have a good day. You want to make sure that you're in this high vibrating alignment because you have beautiful clarity and like grounded patience. It's like you're going to need to show up the next day anyway. You might as well allow yourself to honor the accomplishment when it happens, right? Because there will be markers throughout the month. Again, it's a bit of an accelerated energy, but Spirit is telling you here with this moonstone, absolutely live your purpose. Connect to that fire, connect to that knowing, connect to the work that needs to be done that feels in complete alignment for who you are and how you're meant to authentically serve, right? Purpose is always connected to service. So it's an intuitive sense of what I'm here to do, what I'm meant to be working on right now, how I'm meant to lend my know-how and my wisdom, and to do so with grounded patience, practice patience, embracing the energy day to day, feels very wonderful. So be you is what I would say. My Sagittarius, the sun, moon, and rising. Don't be afraid to be you. Don't make yourself small for anyone, and make sure that you remember to deflect the things that might be bringing you down and celebrate and honor the accomplishments and those little markers that you hit along the path this month. I hope that this serves you for November, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing, purposeful month.